There we go. I'm just gonna put a message here. If you don't see the stream, refresh. Alright. Congratulations and good morning! Congratulations to our ascenders today. They are Gervais, Prostetnik, Vogon, Jeltz. And we have 2 more. Gervais again, a double ascension. Wow. Caragrile, thank you for 13 months. And also Sisyphus. Congratulations to our ascenders. Well ascended. Well ascended indeed. And good morning. Hello. Hello. Hello too. Okay, our chat I can see, but I have to go between them. So let's see. Projectoroid, Looking Beyond, AOR Aries, GG Casa. And in Zombies, Sid Funk, Arbona, Not Again Now, Gervais, Jeltz, Diffused Pizza, Gabrielle, Natalia, Dark Inside, Mudbound, Vectral, Isaac Ewing, Wise Otter, Sniper Barnabas, Twitch user 2409. What else is here? Oh my god. Pro Puke. Original Speedster, Sean. Did I already say Sisyphus? Good morning also to Caragrile. Thank you again for 13 months. Hope you're doing good. Good morning to Cyanide, Sean. Anyone else who may have joined, who I might have missed. Chat was technical difficulties today. And yeah, how's everyone doing? Good morning, good morning. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello, Pavel. Double Ascension. I'm in heaven now. Wow, you made it all the way there. Hey, Original Speedster. Hey, Roger. Plan for today. We're gonna have just a short stream. I'm gonna be doing some stuff off work. But we're gonna hang out for a bit. And I think I'm gonna actually do some work that you won't see while we hang out. I can tell you what I'm doing without showing exactly the details of it. And then yeah. And then we're gonna maybe do some more set work for a bit. Take it from there. Playing 2 Point Hospital today, still a great game. Also, I like how simple the UI is for a sim. I do like sim games. 2 Point Hospital, what's the premise? Hey Lena, just to make it about me for a second because I'm super important. You are super important. Let's make it about you, no problem. Do you think I should reinvent? I feel like I've run out of stupid things to say in chat. So it might be time for me to adopt a new persona. Maybe I could be super into cheese or animal fact. We already have someone who's super into cheese, so scratch that one off. We got Gervais. Gervais' thing is cheese, so that one you're gonna have to cross off list. Animal facts. That one's that one's open. You could definitely be an animal fact chatter if that's a thing you want to be. Open to suggestions that you or anyone else may have. I want to do my best for my duties in chat. What is your character in chat? Honestly, you have experiencing some character. You have been demonstrating some character growth, Sean. Your previous character was, dad jokes. Some of which were like, a lot of ex-wife jokes, a little bit bitter. But you've shown growth. Your jokes have been wholesome and pretty good. You're not putting anyone down. And they're even funnier than they have been. Nice to see. Nice character arc. Sorry, Chopetto's thing is cheese. Chopetto's thing, not Gervais. Or their French friend. Oh yeah, Chopetto's thing is cheese and kisses. Very French. What's your chat? What is your character? What is your persona in chat? Now that we're talking about them, you need to come up with a new one for pro puke. I mean, it's in your name. You could just be really about puke, but that sounds like maybe it's something more to discuss with like a therapist than Twitch chat. So that's a tough one. It's hard to get a good spin on that name. Nail critique. Oh yes, yes, true. Nail piercings. Nail piercings can be cool. They can be cool. I'm hated by game devs. Oh, really? That's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Wow. Wrong with ex-wife jokes? They're done. We left them in the 90s. Okay, I gotta put in some character positions. We've changed some positioning of other things. I'm gonna change the position of characters when we place them around. Oh, hey Randy, how's Panera today? What'd you get for breakfast? You meeting a friend today? I'm somewhere between endearing antagonism and friendly neighbor. Oh. I would not say antagonism. No, you've been very nice. One here. We need to do. I think I can show this actually. Not really giving too much away. As long as I don't show the names of the hierarchy. I'm a sarcastic sense of humor. Hey Tokyo Split, what's up? How are ya? There you are. There we go. Add that in. Oh, I don't even need to add that in actually. I just need to find the item. Just in 6. Wait, just in 6 or just in 6? J6 raid. How's it going? Welcome in. Your stream. Welcome guys. Thanks for joining. Just in 6? That's a cool name. Are you in a band? You should totally be in a band with that name. What were you doing? What were you streaming today? I'm trying to do this in here. I gotta do it here. Streaming software and game development. Very nice. On Megascan, found a vine foliage. Very good looking. Yeah, do you have a link to that, Gervais? That'd be cool. Definitely need to find that still. Or make it, which I don't want to do. My persona is a mixed bag. Multi-personality disorder, maybe. Most of you are just nice people. But some of you have your thing. Pendant, you do have your... Anytime I ask a general question, like, what's your favorite color? Everything's too personal. That's your shtick. Why do you want to know? That's personal information. This is gonna be you one day. Hang on, let me find it. This Pendant when he gets older.
Oh hi, how was your all that? Oh hi, how was your day? And I think, fuck off. What are you talking about? How was my day? My day has got absolutely nothing to do with you.
Hey Omar, how's it going? Yeah, very British. This guy is my spirit animal. It's like I came across it. It was just randomly on Netflix. It's this young dude who's like a comedian, and he's always like wants to get up to an adventure and kind of eggs on his dad, who's that guy. And they go and travel to places, and his dad's like this very wealthy British man. The son wants to go on like more adventurous trips, so they go to like Thailand and stay in a hostel and go to like a local Thai food place. And the father's just like disgusted by everything, and the son thinks it's hilarious. It's very entertaining. Jack Whitehall. Whittle. I want to say Whitehall, but I know it's not that. It's like something else, some other pronunciation. Yeah, his dad is. It's okay. I'm like torn between thinking it's hilarious, but also thinking it's so sad. Like, sometimes he's just so mean to his son. It's so awful. I guess I hope he's putting it on for like the bit, but also I couldn't imagine actually growing up like that. If he's even remotely like that. Where is it now? I'm gonna shorten these names. Doesn't Jack get pushed into a pool by Steven Seagal? I don't know. They get up to a lot of stuff though. I wouldn't be surprised by that. How's everyone's Sunday going, by the way? You guys having a nice weekend? Do anything interesting this weekend? And don't say it's none of my business. You can just say nothing. If you don't want to say, you could just say nothing. That's always an option. One. I have a feeling he's playing a character. I mean, again, I assume obviously yes, he's definitely playing it up. But I wonder where the joke ends and the reality begins, and I fear for its. I fear for the idea that the joke is not too far away from the reality, which would be quite sad. I wonder what Lena's favorite color is. Take a wild guess. I mean, is black considered a color? Is that allowed? I consult the Lord before answering. Oh my goodness. I don't know if we really need this kind of detailing right now for this, but on my eye. I don't even know if I want this at all, to be honest. We'll come back to potentially putting a fence in there. I took out the market and stuff too until it's done, since it's just gonna be, you know, slowing things down. Alright, fine. If white and black are not allowed, then, red. Red would be my favorite color. What about you guys? How did I get started in game dev? Gosh, I started in 1995. I don't know what year. I started when I was a kid, and I started learning JavaScript to make games because I just thought it was so cool to program. And I went through this yesterday. It's kind of a long story. I went into Flash. I went into RPG Maker. I feel like there was other things. And then I did mobile games a little bit. I did web games, and eventually I found Unity and 3D games, and I was like, this is what I've been trying to do the whole time. You know what I mean? This is where I've been trying to be. And it felt like so right. It felt so exciting to be able to do the things I've been doing, like what I thought was the path to 3D, really. But in reality, the path to 3D is just basic 3D. The path to 3D is not 2D. The path to 3D is 3D. And so once I started doing 3D stuff, it was like, I just was so, you know, engrossed by it, and I just started doing it as much as I could, and eventually saved up so I could take time off my work to pursue it full time, and haven't looked back. That is that. That is what I want, and this, I believe, is the thing. No. Nope. Yep. Just bought a book called Head First C# that aims to teach C# through making games in Unity. Do you think that's the correct approach? Dude, that is literally what I say all the time. I did programming before I found Unity, and it was very tedious to learn. It was very difficult to learn because I had to like figure out projects on the web, which making websites is kind of interesting, but I would do that, but it was never enough to get me. I never came up with ideas beyond that, aside from like, it's not sure. I would have to like come up with ideas, like making Mad Libs, making lorem ipsum generators, making like various other types of generators, and like and I had to learn backend to do anything more interesting, which was a lot more complex, and kind of, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but when I came into Unity, like the programming came so naturally because it was so much more it's so much more tangible. When I tell something to move, I see it on the screen move. When I tell it to change materials or animate or whatever, it happens immediately on the screen. You see it happening. With web development, there's a lot more like abstract data management, and it's a little bit harder to like digest that. So I find programming with Unity and C# is like the best way to learn programming. And maybe I'm biased because that was just happens to be what worked for me, but I don't know how I would give advice. I don't know how I would be like, do this thing that didn't work for me. Obviously, the advice I'm gonna give is something that worked for me. So yeah, might not be for everyone, but definitely it was definitely maybe worth checking out if you're wanting to learn programming, because yeah, what a fun way to learn. And you don't have to go into game development just because you learn programming through game development. It's a good way to dip your toes in and have fun, and it can be a hobby. And if you want to learn like web development or software development, there's a lot of information online of how to do C# and .NET. And if you already have a good premise, a good foundation of C# through Unity, it'll definitely give you a big head start transferring into those other worlds. Hey Vanguard. Newbie question, is it really possible to make a game people would want to play in Unreal without knowing C++? Yes. So don't think that complex means good. Complex doesn't always necessarily mean good when it comes to games. There's a lot of games that people like playing that are very simple. Flappy Bird was very popular. What other games were simple that are popular? There's plenty of popular simple games. So don't think that you have to make a very complex game for it to be enjoyed by people. Though I'm not very familiar with blueprints versus C++ in Unreal, so I'm not sure where you start needing to know C++. That's something maybe chat knows the answer to. If you guys want to chime in, please be my guest. But it's not something I would know. So my character did not move to this position when I wanted it to. Let's see what's going on. Spend 3 hours learning DOM, CSS, grid, crude, and the site looks identical to when you started. Wait, what do you mean? Anyone for a spot of tea? Yes, please. Kind of want to get into game dev a bit. I'm primarily web dev, but strong with JS and strong with front end and moderate with back end. I would say that there is a pretty big difference between web development and game development. You're usually doing pretty different things. Like, well, that depends on the game you're making, but there's a lot of stuff with game development that you don't do in web development, like working with animations and pausing the game. Just there's like a lot of mechanics that just you don't really need them in web development. And then there's a lot of web development stuff that might come into like there's certain types of games, but you may not use it depending on the type of game you're making. So there is a difference for sure. But you know, if you find web development interesting, you're almost definitely gonna find game development interesting if you like games. And then that really helps you learn faster, I think. Now that's that position. This I should say. That's not the one I want, so I'm gonna say. Rename that. There's that. This is the position that is not happening. I'm gonna have to look at the code, so I'm gonna have to hide it because it's got all my descriptions of what's happening when. It's particular. It looks pretty cool though over this background. Look, check it out. These colors are kind of fun. They're placeholder. I want to put like actual screens in, but really cool with the vibrancy. There we are. Something I'm missing here? I have that. I have to look at what that thing does. I have that. Yeah. Ah, yeah. To turn off. The chill atmosphere. Thank you. Gotta go, but you gained a subscriber. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Smil, you have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday. Can you do co-op games in Unreal? You can do co-op games in Unreal with blueprints if you do anything more than, let's say, like 10 people together. You're going to want C++ for the fact of it's better for latency, but you can also convert blueprints into C++ using Unreal. Thanks for sharing that info. I enjoy the learning part, so if I accidentally learn some C++ along the way, great. Thanks for the replies, everyone. Glad you're getting some info here. Can you explain, as a noob like me, the difference between Unity and Unreal? Sure. This is a question that comes up a lot. Do I know TS Code? Not really. I know he's a streamer. I haven't really interacted with him much, though, to be honest. I know he's a programmer, developer. I don't really know what he does, though. So, Unity versus Unreal comes up a lot. Some of the differences. I think one of the biggest ones that people seem to, how do I put it? People know this one and they don't know all of the other ones. So let me start with the one that people know. Unreal looks really good out of the box, okay? That has really good lighting. It's, you open it up, the starter projects, they just look really, really nice. Unity can look very nice. It can have very detailed lighting, but it takes a bit to set it up. You kind of have to get anywhere near what Unreal has by default. You kind of have to set up an HDRP project. I mean, I've seen some really nice URP projects on the like at Unite, the demos and stuff. But if you want a somewhat realistic lighting, HDRP projects are the best, closest. Well, they can be very comparable, but it takes a lot more like technical knowledge to set it up nicely and have it also perform it. So visually, Unreal can look really good right away, where Unity takes a bit of figuring out, I would say. With that said, Unreal's heavier, so it takes a little bit more. You kind of have to have a more beefy system. And this is just from conversations we've had on chat pretty much every day for the last 6 years. So if I say anything wrong, feel free to correct me. But I'm pretty sure we've discussed this ad nauseum by now. So, so that's what the graphics. Another thing with graphics that Unreal excels at is they have something called nanite. So if your objects are not moving, you don't have to retopologize them, which is very cool. There's a lot of things you can do with that, but it is limited because they can't move. They have to be static objects. So I only really do retopology on characters for the most part. That's not true. I do like LODs and stuff. But yeah, the biggest retopology thing is characters, which move, so it doesn't hold up there, unfortunately. So that would be the biggest time serve if there was dynamic nanite. Anyway. Now, Unity uses C# and Unreal uses C++. C# is much easier to learn and use because you don't touch the memory management. You don't have to. It's all done for you. And then C++ is a lot more complicated because you have to take that stuff into consideration. But the Unreal also has blueprints, meaning you can do visual scripting, and it's built in. In fact, I think you need to use visual scripting. So if you don't like using that, you have to use it anyway, I believe, to some extent. And Unity has a component system, so your game objects have kind of like chunks of mechanics on them. So whether it's a light, whether it's a script that's pre-made, or it's a script that you write, or it's an audio, it's kind of like Lego pieces that you put together on your game objects. So I really like the component system. I really like C#. I don't really love visual scripting. I like writing things out. It feels more flowy to me. I don't like messing around with my mouse if I don't need to. So that's another part of it. Unity is very good for optimizing things. So like if you want to have a mobile game, Unity is probably the way to go. So I think like fast and performant is really good. Unity is really good for, or like across the board. You can make it look good, but again, it's a little trickier. Unreal has really good visual quality, but it's not as performant for like mobile or anything that's going to be needing performance like VR. I don't know. Maybe there's ways, but again, it's not the strength. You could probably do it, but it's not the strength of it. Any other major differences, chat, between the two? At the end of the day, honestly, like whichever one you pick, unless you're doing something really out of the box, like really out of the box, both engines can do what you need. And you probably have there's pros and cons to both. You'll have a similar experience with both. So Don't let yourself get stuck on indecision between the engines. And if you really are worried about it, download both. They're both free to use. Try them out and see which one you like better. See which one clicks. If you want to get into game dev, you still Unity probably the best for ideas and for programmers. I think saying that one is better than the other is like, it's like saying a language is better than another. A language, you know, there might be like, you might have a preference to which one you're using, but at the end of the day, the best tool that you use, whether it's your game development platform or your programming language or whatever else, comes down to what you're using it for. What are you making? That is, you know, it's C# the best way to build a website? No, C# is good for other things. So it's like you're comparing apples and oranges in a lot of cases. Whatever's best for the project is the best tool. And just having a sweeping statement of what's best is not really useful.
You have nice runways.
Primo, thank you very much for 11 months. Yeah, you'd like the airport there? Hope you had a good visit in Toronto briefly. So yeah, so don't get hung up on it. Pick one, start learning. You can always switch if you really want to. You can always try both if you're really unsure. Both are great. We're so lucky to have game engines where we don't have to do all of the, we don't have to write a graphical rendering system. We don't have to write a physics system. We don't have to write an animation and humanoid system like we have. There's so many things that are just given to us, tools that we can use at our disposal. We're in the golden ages of game development. Wise person once said you're either writing tools or you're making games, pick one. No. That's true to some extent, but we see people like Jonathan Blow writing all of the tools and making the game, so it's not impossible, it's just very difficult, so you can't discount the people who actually manage to do both somehow. But it's, yeah, very difficult. You have to have a lot of grit to do that kind of thing. Ark is a shader god. Wow. One day I'm learning C just so I can get a sense for how good I have it with higher level languages. Sounds like a good learning task. Are you going to program today? Yes, but I'm not going to be showing it because, as I mentioned, it's all my functions and stuff explain. If you can read the code, it's a spoiler. If you can't read the code, it's not a spoiler, but if you can read the code, you can tell exactly what's going on. And even the naming of the functions kind of gives it away. So, I have to hide it now. Let's go back. Hopefully not, I won't be doing this stuff for too much longer. How long it takes though. Yeah, this is a weird one. Why is the player not moving here? I wonder what it has to do with how I start the event. I have a trigger. Let me see what's causing the trigger. Okay. I'll show you the code when it's okay to show the code, if it's not going to spoil anything. Here's the piece I'm looking at. Game object. Okay, I wanted to double check that the trigger wouldn't happen twice. It doesn't. I've accounted for that. Okay, in that case. What else would be causing it to... Oh, I know. I know now. But a slightly different way of doing this, which is totally fine to do. Basically, the trigger starts the conversation, but I actually want it to start the function, and in the function I will start the conversation. Then I can account for moving things and such. Do it. Okay. And the player does not move again later after that's over. Take a look at that. And that could just be because I didn't call the function. I called the conversation. So I've done that. Oh, no, I don't. I also don't click free select time. Okay. I'll play through while we talk. Whenever I drop in here, she's moved around. Yeah, I do change my setup pretty often. It's kind of refreshing. I haven't done that in a while, actually. Maybe I should do it again. Oh, I forgot to delete an item I was working with. Lux Game Jam. We haven't done one in a while. But they are fun. They are fun to do. My heater friend. Oh, I just moved it off the out of the way because it's not too cold today, or at least it doesn't seem to be. It seems sunny. Oh, it's -6. I don't know, I woke up, it was kind of warm, so I was like, I don't think I'll need the heater. Moved it over. Story items. Nuclear plant. Remove it. Load it in only when we need it. Kind of warm. Oh, -6. Yeah. Did I get the link? Which link is that? Did I get enough sleep? Never, my friend, never. It's like, if you guys are ever wondering why I look tired, why I look stressed, why I'm angry, why my eyes look tired, why I look like I haven't slept in 7 years, it's always, the answer is the same. It's because I'm doing game development full time. Doing solo game development. Need more vitamin C? You know what? Maybe I do, actually. Maybe I do. Okay. I was eating vitamin C gummies, and I have like a box or like a little container of other type of chewable ones, they like taste like chalk though, so I keep not having them. I do have fruit once in a while, but not often enough to
Good morning, everybody.
maybe enough, not often enough that I could be low on it. It's possible. I have fruit every few days. I haven't had an apple in a little while. I'll try to have an apple a day to keep the doctor away. I hate doctors. I'm just kidding. I like doctors. Keep the doctors away from me. Who is that? Where's that alert coming from? What was that? Oh, Peyote Kid. Good morning. Thank you very much for the bits. How are you today? Hey, Mikado, I think. Where's all the chatters from yesterday? Some of them have come back. Thanks, guys, for joining again if you came in for yesterday. Hey, Divine Dev, how you doing? I'm just going through testing it. The first part I think is good. I just need to add some lights into that room. And then we'll see the other stuff we just did here. I left a renderer on the trigger. There we go. Now our player's getting moved. Much better. I have some more things to add in this after stream today. This room looks nice, the security room at the nuclear plant. Okay, good. And we also got moved at the end of that scene. Do you set deadlines for yourself? I don't, but I feel like it might help to progress faster. I do sometimes, but I find it's not a good idea because, like I've been saying lately, when you work 9 to 5 on your game, or if you're a company and your employees work 9 to 5 and you need to hit a deadline, there's an easy solution in order to hit it on time. If you're not on time and you need to be, you go into crunch mode. It's that simple. People work till 10 p.m. if they have to. The whole team, you know, that's an extra, how many? 5 hours a day. It's almost like double the workforce that you had, right? If you're working till 10 or really late at night sometimes. I can't double my workforce because I'm already working all of my hours. So like, what do I do if I'm behind? I can't work more hours. I don't have a budget to hire more people. All I can do is just feel bad about it. Right? Like it's not a helpful thing in this situation. If I had a more balanced work-life schedule, sure, it would work, but it's not the case. I already give it everything I've got, so I can't possibly give more without negative consequences that would eventually harm the project. Like if I start getting not enough sleep, then I'll burn out and then I'll have to take a break, and then it's gonna hinder the project anyway, right? So I don't think it's worth it. Or I could get sick to a point where it's, you know, who knows what could happen if I really push myself beyond what I'm already doing. I try to keep a good pace that I don't burn out or get physically unwell from it. So, yeah. You gotta be kind to yourself. There is another way. You just cheap out on everything and make it shitty and call it a day. That is not something I want to do. And honestly, that's not always possible, even. Like, if it's broken, like, I guess you could ship something broken, but like, it's not always possible. Sometimes it just doesn't even work. You're just not done the mechanic, right? But that is, I guess, if you make a, you know, bad product, I guess. Oh, I just found a typo. Not that it matters that much because this is temporary text. Do you have side projects you work on, or is it all on strain? It's all strain. All the way down, baby. It's nice having multiple projects, but you now are going to be, when you start... Oh, I should turn the rope off until it's time, it's time to shine. And I'm gonna move the scene close to the rope because that's part of the reason it's there. I'm gonna show the screen again now. We're gonna make some more adjustments here. Yeah, it's fun to work on more than one project at a time, but it you know, when your efforts are divided, it does slow things down. And it is... I think what's better is maybe take a short break if you really need to. Even if it's to like, take a short break, work on a mini project for a weekend or something. Maybe that's like better than trying to maintain 2 separate projects. It can get really overwhelming, I think. Because like, the longer you're on a project, the less exciting and fun it is. Until you turn around and start getting close to the end. So like, if you start a new project and you're like, I've got my main project that I've been on for a while, and then I've got my other project that I'm also working on. The new project is always going to be fun to start with, but eventually you're going to hit the weeds with that, and now you're in the thick of things with 2 projects. And that starts getting like, now you're double stressed. It's a little mini project, it's a weekend. Especially if you put the other project down for a weekend and do something, that's probably the best way to do like take a break if you need to. Can I have your music list? I'm just listening to a general jazz video here. After stream, where's the coffee at? Actually, it is empty. And time to go refill it. I will be right back with the second coffee. Hang on a minute. Testing. Oh, my mic got unplugged somehow. Janky. Thanks for letting me know. I was just saying, warm me, little heater, warm me. Where's that coffee? You can also warm me up. Water on it. Hi, Lena. I have a question regarding Unity Game Engine. Why do most games developed with Unity, for example, Valheim, look and perform much worse than games developed using, for example, Unreal Game Engine or some homemade game engine? For example, Sifu, Nier, Replicant, or Death Stranding. Is it that Unity engine or developers? Thank you in advance. I haven't looked at all the games made with Unity or Unreal. You can have a poor performing game in any engine. You can have a very optimized game in any engine. Unity is actually known for its really good optimization. That's why it's really good for mobile compared to Unreal. So don't feel like Unity's got bad performance. It's literally, that's what it excels in, is being performant. I can't speak to why those games are performant or not. Hello, ASM. It says just that more games are made in Unity. Cognitive bias only catches the corner cases. We're just seeing it more because there's more Unity games out there. Penance says it's the dev that makes the game. The engine won't make a game perform well on its own, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think of the games I've played that use Unity. Like This War of Mine, Green Hell, Escape from Tarkov, Subnautica. They all perform pretty well. But, I mean, my computer is not very, you know, it's not very performant. A pretty standard build. Everything runs pretty smoothly, but I haven't looked into the details of it. I don't know. Flying rabbits exist? No. Tarkov is yikes performance-wise, is it? I can make Unreal slow. Down to a crawl, just spam stuff and it goes down. Like, if 2% of games are super shitty and 60% of games are made in Unity, then most shitty games are going to be made in Unity. But not because Unity is bad, just because it's popular. I feel like that's a... Yeah, I feel like that's not even... Whether you use Unity, Unreal, Godot, Game Maker, RenPy, RPG Maker, your own libraries, your own engine, you build the game from scratch, whatever you're doing, you know, it's up to the dev to work on getting it performant, and there's lots of things that can be done and everything. Each of those places. With that said, there are, like, how do I put this? For example, within Unity, if I use URP, which is one of the rendering pipelines, I'm going to be set up in a way where things will be more performant. And if I use HDRP, I'm going to be set up where things are less performant. And I have to put in the work to accommodate for that. Does that make sense? There's choices within each different route that you go that can be, you know, same with like your art style and everything else. It's such a broad, there's so many things that factor into performance that I don't think it makes sense to say one engine causes games to be poor performing. Everything is a trade-off, yeah. Do I use Blender's game engine add-on? I thought they got rid of the game engine, or maybe it was a built-in game engine that existed before. I agree too. We can do shoddy games with every engine, but it's true the other way around. It's not true the other way around. But thank you all for your opinions. For me, it was just obvious, and I kind of dodged Unity engine made games for a while. Hey, Trash Dinner. You ever worked for a game studio? Yes. Or did you go to... I have worked for a game studio, but it was on contract. I did a contract role with a game studio. So I went into indie actually before I did that. And I got a job offer before I went into indie, but I didn't take it because I was working for banks and I got a very good job offer, good pay at a major game studio and doing user experience design, which is what I did before I went into indie game dev. But I didn't take it because it the pay was similar. Everything was pretty similar, except the content of gaming would have been more interesting. However, anything that I would have worked on while I worked at that studio belonged to the game. You're not allowed to do your own projects while you work at a studio, at that studio, and probably a lot of others. So if I worked in the evenings on a side project, that belonged to them. If I worked on the weekend on a side project, that belongs to them. The other downside is, they did say there will be crunch time. You will be expected to stay till 10 p.m. for weeks on end sometimes to meet a deadline. I was like, well, I go home at 5 o'clock on the dot right now. So why would I want to work a bunch of extra hours, not be allowed to do the thing that I enjoy the most outside of my working time, and for the same pay, just because it's gaming? It wasn't worth it to me. Yeah, they're not. They're on paid hours. It was on like a salary, so you don't get paid for the extra time you put in. So for a while, I did game development as a hobby on the side, and eventually I just decided to do my own thing. I didn't expect to do it for long term, but here we are. It is very limiting. Any verdict on learning Unity, yay or nay? Yeah, why wouldn't you? You just learn Unity, yes or no? The answer is yes, learn it. I don't know what the context is, or if there's an alternative, or what the... Yes or no? My answer is yes, learn. Why not? I should get into game dev, game design. Cat journal meme? I don't know the cat journal meme. Do you have a link? It's like taking ownership of your life. Like why? Well, why is because there's a lot of reasons why. I understand it, but I don't want to have that. I'm not a lawyer, but if you have an employer that claims such, do look further into it. I want to do side projects, but yeah. Most companies in tech gaming field have that in their contracts. I had the same working for Amazon. Yeah, it's basically competition. So if you're like, imagine if you're making the next GTA and then you go make a side project that has some similar qualities to GTA that you worked on. Like you're now taking their company money that they paid you to do that and putting it into your own game that's now competing with that game. It's a non-compete clause, right? So I don't like it, but I also kind of can understand why it's there. But I don't like it. I don't want to agree to it. My inspiration for game design position. A friend who is a biology master and he's working on game design remote from Brazil. Oh, very cool. Just to let you know, Lynn, I'm a software engineer myself, but not game developer. Even so, I would have loved to, but it never occurred to me, or I didn't push it hard enough. But regarding overtimes, in my opinion, it's mostly a sign of something is going wrong if it's not a very rare situation, but more common situation in a company. I don't really know how do I put this. It's difficult making games, okay? Like there's so much that goes into it. There's so much unpredictability in it because there's so many moving parts. It's so hard for me to come up with a timeline as one person. And there's none of the like organizational people leaving, people getting hired, none of that complexity added in. And and granted, like a lot of the stuff I'm doing is, no, I've never made a survival game at this scale before. So like a lot of it is new, so I don't know how long it will take me to do the tasks. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's hard to come up with timelines for games. And I understand why it happens. I don't think it's good. I don't know what the answer is other than like making timelines that are way longer, which nobody wants because for many reasons. All the people in the business end of things, the people who are in charge of making money, don't want it to take longer because it's like now you don't know what the market's going to be like the further away you go. It's a bigger risk. There's a lot of reasons you want a project to be shorter timeline. So there's probably a lot of pushback from the people, making those timelines, who really want to enforce them, and that's how the crunch happens. I don't know. I mean, the only way to go around it is to like not have timelines. The only way to avoid crunch is not have timelines or like have extremely giving yourself lots of extra time, which most companies can't afford to do. It's unfortunate that it happens. Just don't have deadlines or funding publishers or advertisements, yeah. Just be like Rockstar and release a game every 10 years. Even they have crunch time and such, I'm sure. Have you created a game design doc for this? Is that something you generally recommend for longer projects? I think a game design doc is great. It's a great way to get your your thoughts organized and stuff. To be honest, this game has become such a big part of my life and because it's a solo project, it's just so ingrained in my head. I'm not gonna forget things. I don't know how to describe it, but yes, I do recommend them. I've come up with a number of different game design docs, but at this point, it's like, why keep making them? It's just for me to write down. I have like many documents of things, but I don't really just stick to the one doc anymore. It might be good practice and good like organization to do one again, and just like reiterate these things or revisit old game dev docs. That would be maybe fun. That one might be a fun. The thing is, I don't want to give away too much, so I don't know if I would want to share that at this point. I feel like there's some things I want to keep a surprise, but maybe I'll do that off stream. Yeah, no, that's true. Answer the questions up front. Through testing, though, it's just changed a bit over time. No spoilers. Is this your first solo project? Nope. Where did you work before as a dev, artist, team, etc.? I put a lot of little games, a lot of like browser games that were generating money from websites, flash games, mobile app games, simple ones, kind of like more like childish ones, to be honest, which is why I kind of want to take a break from doing like more like, I don't know, maybe people get like offended by the term childish, but like cartoony. I want to do something a little bit more like mature and like kind of that I think is kind of cool, as opposed to cute or like playful. So I did a bunch of those types of games, and I put out Don't Notice Me, which is also that kind of way, kind of like comedic, and it's got the anime art style, which, because of the Notice Me Senpai meme, right? Here, I'll play the trailer. I don't know if I've played this in a while. I showed some gameplay yesterday, but let's play the trailer.
Elliot Chase is the coolest boy in the whole school. No, the world. He doesn't know who I am, but I know everything about him. His birthday, his middle name, his social security number. I decided to write him a letter about my feelings. I snuck it into his backpack at the end of the day. But now I'm wondering, what if he thinks it's too much? That I'm some kind of psycho? What if he tells the whole school? I need to get that letter back. I know where he lives, so maybe I can just sneak into his bedroom and find the letter before he reads it. He'll have no idea, and I can save myself from total humiliation. Maybe I could just take a little look around while I'm in there. Who knows what I might find.
So that's the game I put out a while ago now. If you guys want to check it out, there's a link. In fact, if you guys want to wishlist it, I've been meaning to do this for a while. Let me make a note to myself to put this on sale, like a massive sale, because I would like you guys to play it. You know, I don't need to. Whatever's the biggest sale I can put it on, I'll put it on shortly. So go wishlist it if you're interested in playing. You can check it out. Where's my to-do list? I think you put up to 80% off, 75. But Don't Notice Me on sale. I get so engrossed in this, it's hard to like think of all the other stuff around. The trailer's so good. I'm glad you liked it. It's a classic coming of age story everyone goes through, you know. Write a love letter, you gotta go sneak into your crush's home and snoop through other things. Classic tale. Watching a murder mystery about an obsessed girl? No, it's more like a romantic sitcom or rom-com. Very funny, Ben Timber. Sneak and hack their shit totally. Normal teenage girl stuff. Yeah, exactly. That would be actually a fun little weekend project to do like another mini game based on that storyline and that premise. I think I'm gonna put some references to Don't Notice Me in this game, but I'm not gonna say when and where. Okay, we got some lights in here. That was needed. In fact, let me put them into this parent object. What else do we need? Typical teenage girl sneaks into locked down city to deliver a letter to somebody. That would be so funny if like there's this impenetrable wall that no one can get in and out of, and like there's just this teen girl and she happens to somehow get past the wall. to get to her crush. Birth to Death is on hiatus. I don't know if we'll return to it. We'll see. When Lena denies us spoilers, I imagine her with a fancy mustache and cigar going, hehehe, suck up. Exactly. For knowing a guy's SIN number and house address, phone password, yeah. If that's your idea of romance, that's not romantic to you? Look at all the effort she put into learning about him. I'm kidding. Kidding. Don't be that. Don't do that. That is a joke. I feel like I need to iterate that just in case. Hey, Joe. Okay, where were we? I also wanted to do... Oh, I found a typo. Let me fix that. That was here. Hi. I'm gonna type out the... What's this one? That. These are kind of like all separate. And this one uses this text. Let me... Oh yeah, I'm gonna reposition them to the rope and hide and show the rope. Let me write the basic wording out for now. Just to get an idea of what's going on. That should better explain what we're doing. And I can show you what we're looking at now. I'm 900 years old. Everyone asks, what is love? But no one asks, where is love? It's right here, right in this community. You guys know a website to download assets of website with URL? What do you mean? What are you looking to download? Nothing will prevent me from sending a letter to the one I love, not even the secure prison. Reloads guns after killing lots of guards. Oh my god, she turns total Rambo. Twoo love. Yeah, twoo love warrior. Okay, I'm gonna put these into the right title for them so I can better tell what's what here, but I'm not gonna show it because everything's spoilers. Okay. This is okay, this is what we want with this text. I can delete these from here. I'm so excited. I know this sounds so stupid, but I'm so excited to have the story stuff ready because like I think all of the I have it broken into like different scenes. And right now it's relatively linear. There are some pieces that like will change as your decision making in the game will change. But like each of those chunks of like each scene I feel is like pretty fun. Kind of interesting, kind of like I don't know, I've been looking forward to sharing those with you guys. Am I okay today, Lana? Why do you guys keep asking this? Am I tired? Am I sick? Am I okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm doing game dev constantly for years. You guys know the answers to these questions. Am I Lana? No, I'm not. Haha, you've caught me. I wish I could pull up. Well, I don't wish I could. I wish I had a mask of my own face I could pull off at the perfect moment. It's just me again. How's my coffee today? Pretty good, pretty good. Plants are good. How are you guys doing? Website to zip. I don't know. I don't know. I've never thought of wanting to do that even. That sounds like a great movie. Girl ends up in prison and will do anything to get back to her love, so she goes on some Rambo killing spree to escape from prison to be chased by the FBI and CIA. Yeah, I might go wild with the Don't Notice Me story. We'll see. There's so many ways I can take it. I've thought of a few different potential sequels to it. I realized that the game itself, like the hardest part of the game was putting together all of the different puzzles I did. But in reality, I think that the like funnest part of the game, or the highest, how do I put this? The thing that people enjoyed the most was watching the videos of the YouTubers who played the game. And that's because like the humor and the story is entertaining to them. So I feel like all the stuff I spend the most, this is something that I'm learning over time, is when you put a game out, you see what people like and what parts are interesting to people. And so like if I make a sequel to Don't Notice Me, I might just make it like a walking simulator with a funny story and funny exploration stuff, or something very, very simple gameplay just to get a fun story across to the player without like putting a ton of work in what's not really needed to get the joy of the game. Does that make sense? What percentage of self-made versus store assets are you looking at for strain, and how do you decide where to spend the effort? There's some things that are very difficult to make, very difficult, that would either take a long time or I just wouldn't be able to do it. It's just like vehicles. I don't think I could make a car that looks really good. Maybe if I spent a month, I still think I'd have to learn like some specific techniques for that. It's just not my area of expertise. So that is an area where, and it's not really a skill I particularly want to get good at, because it does take a long time, even if you know what you're doing, and even if you're very good at it and proficient with it, it still takes a lot of time. So that's a place where I would be willing to buy an asset, because I can buy it for whatever amount of money and it saves me a lot of time. Another thing is foliage. Foliage, for the most part, I did make some foliage, like plants and stuff, and I might have to make vines if I can't find one. But it is hard to get a really good looking plant asset. I would much prefer to buy those. Maybe I should, maybe I'll make a video on which assets I've bought and when and why. I'd make a note of that. I want to put some of these questions into videos so that people can ask them. I can give the full info, give a good answer, and it's there for people who ask again later. But I would say it's a very small percentage. The rubble that you're looking at here, that was purchased, but everything else was made. I can see. Buildings were all handmade. Fine. ones. The plants were not. The plants and the rubble were not. Oh, and the sidewalk. Plants, rubble, sidewalk were not made by me. Everything else was so far. The car is not made by me. Yeah, I don't necessarily recommend doing that much asset creation because that's the mass bulk of time spent on this game is creating so many custom-made assets and making LODs for them all. So like, you know, if you guys are new here, you're not familiar with LODs, basically it's very high detail when you go up to this building, for example, but as you zoom out, it's actually another model. There it is. You see it switch? You can barely notice, but these are two totally different models it's switching between. One that's high detail and quite a few polygons and materials, and this one is much more performant. And there's another one there. You can see them switching. So I still have some work to make this switch a little bit less noticeable. Like I gotta fix those windows mainly. But yeah, that's the fog in the game helps hide the switch a little bit, but I still want to make it a bit better. But they're also on a grid system, so like everything in the game is on a grid system, and you can like build walls and floors, and everything will actually all match up inside, outside, furniture, and everything's on the grid. So they're all custom made to fit that. And the city was done procedurally within the editor, along that same grid.
It's been emotional. Have a good week, everybody.
It's been emotional. What's been emotional? You have a good week as well, Peyote Kid. Thank you for the bits. You could reuse them for another game in the future with some modifications, though. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The custom made assets really give the game a unique style. Really, really nice work. Thank you, Projectoroid. I certainly hope it shows. I hope it shows when we're all set up. There's still a number of things I want to do to make things look correct. It's still not quite where I want it to be, but it's getting closer all the time. Let's finish organizing this. Excuse me. I do recycle assets and my cans and plastics. Are you self-employed, or is this something you're working on for a company? No, this is my own game. This is a solo, well, mostly solo. As I mentioned, I do hire help here and there. Right now I'm working with, for example, writing consultants to check over the storyline, make sure I didn't miss any plot holes. I've had people help with the odd texture or re-topoing, but the vast majority is solo. If you look at the hours spent, I can only afford to hire for the odd hour here and there. Hopefully that'll be more and more over time as more games come out and people hopefully enjoy them and buy them. Now, where are we? This is the last one here. It's awesome. I'm considering switching my major to computer science. Oh, what's your current major? Yeah, how's Ultramassive going, Taper? How's the new job? It's hard to read that. Pro2. Thank you very much for 29 months. How are you? You're way too talented to be manipulated by lazy frequencies. Stop the lazy frequencies. Don't let them get to you. The lazy frequencies, I like that. Okay. So we have the rope over here. I'm gonna put a light here of some kind. I'm not sure where a light would be coming from. From this area. Maybe from... I suppose there could be street lights, that some of them which are working. Even though the street is actually like... Even though the street is kind of crumbling down, we can have a few lights there. Well, we'll worry about the arts a little later. Start with just getting the pieces in. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah, I could have put them like under the thing here instead of having posts for them. Hey Steve, how's it going? Currently in history. Very big switch. I'm redoing my math credits from high school online currently. Oh. History is very cool. That is a big switch, but you know, those are two cool programs, so I'm sure you'll make a decision that's right for you. Be prepared for computer science though. It's definitely a big undertaking. A lot of people here have studied it. And not an easy one, but if you're really interested, it can be foundation of some interesting career paths. Then I gotta say, I'll buy all your games just for how great they look. Thank you. I'm not even a graphics person, but I love your art style immensely. Thank you very much, Juicy. It's nice to hear. Comp Sci is the future. Streetlight Manifesto? I didn't know you were a ska listener. Who here? Type 1 in chat if you like ska music. Don't be shy. This is a safe space. Oh, I got a few people. I feel okay. I don't know if it's... I feel like people who like ska music are cool people immediately. I think there's something about... It's kind of like happy music that you just have to like not... I'm just like a happy people. Even if you're not necessarily always happy. People who... I can't describe it. Every time I meet somebody who listens to ska, I'm like... Makes sense. You fit the pattern. You fit the bill. What does that sound? The heater? It's not... It sounds like it's raining or something. Yeah, it's the fan was making a sound. Better turn it off. Saw the Boss Jones headline Riot Fest 2010. Great show. Less than Jake 2 played too. That's fun. I don't listen to ska that much anymore. What is it? It's kind of like think like brass instruments with... Well, it can be it can be more like reggae style or it can be more like punk style. Really depends. But think like trumpets and sax maybe. Trombone, tuba. Could be anything. Ska is like jazzy punk reggae. Yep. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of died off. I don't hear many people talking about it very much these days. But it's very like it's very happy music, which is nice. You don't get that a lot these days. No one's happy now. Alright, so if we put this in... Oh, I know, I don't need to put this in. Oh, I do. We'll need to change the camera. We just have the one for now. And that should do it. And the trigger, actually, as well. Hello, Stormer Show. Hey, Em, how are you guys? Got high enough to like reggae? You can like reggae without getting high. I guess that's sort of an association with the music genre, though. It's just such a chill, kind of nice, happy vibe, though. Okay. So, this is now pointing there, as it should. Close this off, and the trigger's in the right place. Now I just need to position the characters here instead of back over there where they were. I wonder if there's like copyright free reggae ska. Like traditional, like roots reggae type. Right. Hmm. So this is like ska. This is a type. There's different subgenres, but ska was precursor to dub. Well, I thought dub was like the dub is like more reggae, the original dub, and it's that's more like the Scatolites or Toots and the Maytals or what are the others? Top of my head. Okay. I feel like there's one thing if I show you, you're gonna know. Some people will be like, "Oh my gosh." I'm not gonna show that part. In fact, I might not show a couple of these positionings real quick here. I'll just hide my screen for a minute for that part. Music map. Oh, I feel like I know what this is. Let me see. Okay, no, that's not that. I was thinking there's this one that's like it's like a what's the word I'm looking, like a flowchart of music, and it like branches off into the different subgenres and stuff. Industrial, metal, pop, country, rhythm and blues. It's tricky because like you can combine some of these though. You know what I mean? Like there's some industrial, like techno. And then there's I guess there's not really jazz metal. Metal jazz? Is there metal jazz? I want to listen to that. Interesting. Let's see if we can find ska on this. Punk. This is gospel. This is a maybe a good one of many references if you're looking at a few. Here's some more reggae type ska. I like all kinds of music. Does anyone here genuinely like all kinds of music? What music do you not want to listen to? What music do you not like? Heavy metal, no thanks. Hey, Scrubbit. 9 Inch Nails is like alt rock but with synths. I only don't like pop country. Pop. Reggae. I don't like Manel. I don't even know what Manel is. Country hard pass, pop. Not a fan of rap anymore. Country, bad music, modern country. Don't like Mongolian throat singing. Oh my gosh, really? I think it's so cool. I like listening to it, actually. Kind of gets you into like this like ominous vibe, you know? Hate country with a passion. I like 90s outlaw country. I love all music, even country makes me think of space because of Brian Eno. Interesting. Playing Sackboy to the stream with Sackboy. Is that a game? Is that a... I gotta let this on now. Sackboy. Okay, I haven't... This is actually a really good game. I forgot all about it. This game is actually really, really cool. Really, really cool style. Especially like, it was like almost like cute realistic. I thought it was really impressive. And they had a co-op version, that was cool. Mumble rap is the worst. I like mumble rap. When divorced people make music? What does that even mean? Divorce? Divorce is music. What is that? Proven throat singing is where it's at. Is that different from Mongolian throat singing? No, we're not really into hip-hop except the exception is Dope DOD, which is collabing with neurofunk producers. I'm raving and DJing for 12 years, mainly underground Euro style. Do you have a link to demonstrate this style? I don't even know what to imagine. Can't do most. I'm not a big fan of most pop and most country either, which is funny because I think those are like the most popular music styles. It's a little bit. I feel like this kind of music's like I want to listen to it if I'm. This is not the right vibe for on a computer. I want to be outside and I want to be by the beach.
Are you trying to shop for Thai?
No.
All right.
Shop for what? I want to be on the beach or chilling outside or like relaxing, not trying to get to work with that kind of music.
Stream.
Zup geeks, thank you very much for the bits. How you doing? Thank you. Oh, where were we here? I did this one. Duplicate. Bring it down here. My god's listening. He's listening, chat. I gotta hide my screen for this part. Hey! How's it going, chat? I'm realizing that the knot in my rope, knots are like very, big. They're kind of big and they're kind of too far between each other. I'm gonna probably need to adjust my rope. And there we go. What else we got here? You know, I'm in the mood for like one of those like environmental soundscapes. What's this one? Ooh, no. You know what? Let's try this. This isn't good. We'll do the atmosphere. Kind of some backgroundy type stuff. It's not the way you want it, exactly. In fact, let's do it now, then I can go ahead and put it in, turn it off and on at the right times as well. I'm just trying to think, where was it in? Was it in highway? Yeah. Music is low now. It's kind of like more environmentally than I don't know. Kind of like subtler. Check those out. Juicy? Okay. Lana, will your game have day and night? Probably not for early access. I have had day and night on, and I turned it off for some reasons. But, let's see. This is not the most recent version of this. Oh, okay. I see the new one. Here it is. Hello, Ramadan. What's going on? Hello, Jamare. Jamore? So this is our rope. The top piece is good. Bottom, beside the characters, looked a little bit too just generally big. In fact, I have two. I have one over there and I have one here. Let's see. Let's just resize it. So about half of what it is at the moment. Would be about right. But I still needed to connect to that piece here. Yeah. Should also be all one material. Oh, right, and I needed to still reach the ground, so I'm going to take this and duplicate it. rope. The wireframe looks like a ton of work. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Still needs a LOD on it as well, but that'll be easy to do on this thing because it's so geometric. I can just do like a thing like that and a thing like that, bake it down, and once we're like this distance even, the only thing is this part. What I might do is I don't know. I'll think about that when we get to it. Let's worry about that a little later, one thing at a time. And it'll be relatively straightforward though, shouldn't take too long. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, how do I put this? Hang on a second, I know I have a rope thing that will loop properly. Maybe the material is weird. I probably just unwrapped it though. I think I'm going to optimize using other techniques first. Then when Oh, here's the other rope pieces. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. 1 second, let me get this rope done and then I'll say what I was gonna say. This should be okay. Let me export it one more time, just in case. Then we'll find the material. But the UVs should be fine here. What is this one using? This is the correct rope. It just doesn't repeat. It's pretty close though. I think it might be alright for this purpose. I was gonna say that the with the optimization, like things like doing LODs on the game objects, I think what I'm gonna do is do other forms of optimization that take less time. I got some coding optimization to do. I've got some loading and unloading of things. I haven't done occlusion culling on everything, mesh combining on things. That kind of thing I'm probably going to start with, and then I'll look at doing LODs on the assets, because they do take time. They do take time. They're kind of fun. I kind of like doing them, but time consuming. So I'll do the other stuff first, and I'll only do it. I'll try to be careful about where I spend my time when it comes to optimizing. Where are we? The big asses for sure. Yeah, like this one I probably will need to, because we don't even need that much detail unless we're like right beside it anyway. It's gonna be pretty, gonna be simplified quite a bit. a second. There we are. Rope. Oops. Rope. Outside. Where's your, I know I had rope inside. There it is. Rope inside. That can just stay on because we're not going to be there without the rope being there, but keep it there. Now I need new positioning for this step too. Yeah, I'm doing like additive loading, asynchronous additive loading, so that like I load some scenes and unload them when I don't need them. Oh, what's this lemon cake? LED crossfade. Okay, this is what happens when I do LED crossfade. I don't know if like I'm missing something. I'll show you. Let's see. It actually like it just looks. I feel like it draws more attention to it. So if anyone's ever wanting to do LODs on your art, Unity, if you're using Unity, there's something called LOD group and it does it automatically. It's so easy to use. It's like, it's so nice. Basically, you have a number of LODs you want here. You can have more or less. You can add or delete them. This is your 0th is your smallest one, and it lets you control the camera. And I'm like, okay, switch at this point, and then you just click on here, and you can add the renders you want to turn off and on. So there could be a number of them. You want to, have a few things going on, and then all the way to like over here, it's called. I don't ever want to call it, but this turns it off completely. But that's kind of how it works. And here I have a few things that have doors as well. On my 0th LOD, I have the main building and the doors I interact with. Then when you get to this first LOD, the doors are actually just on here, so I just turn on just this main solid building. So that's crossfading lemon cake. I don't know if it's more or less subtle than a pop. I don't know if there's also a way to animate it slower. I don't know. But it's not a main priority at the moment. Let me see what you sent over. Take a look at it again. I am using this. I love looking at these pages. I think I might revisit this and make sure I'm using everything, all the good stuff at some point. Might be a polish thing, yeah. I'm learning gaming stuff, chat. Level of detail, there you go, Em. Almost all game engines have this feature. Yeah, I'm just showing how it works in Unity. Okay, so I actually want to set up a positioning on the top of this roof. Maybe I do it like this so it's clear that you're at the top of this piece now. Again, I think I need a little bit more lighting. Put in the lights.
And let me get the assets from you.
Okay, so I'm gonna set one virtual camera here. I'm gonna call this VCam lockdown. Just doing some positioning of things here. Can't say or show too much of it, but put it together. Yep. That's fine. This is what I want to change. There. The hat looks so silly. I want to. I like the idea of it, but I did not pull it off the way I wanted to pull it off. So I want to like work on that sometime soon. Once I get the storyline stuff, I think I'm going to. This is the plan. This is the game plan. Storyline stuff done, solidified. The main stuff. Then I'm going to reiterate or iterate on the actual like putting together of the scenes and the dialogue and get that together nicely. Then I'm gonna spend some time getting the gameplay between it together. That I can probably do on stream like I'm doing today. Then I'm gonna want to bring together all the art pieces, including the characters, then optimize. That's kind of the plan. So the characters, including this guy, are not too far away. Not too far away. Let's bring this up here so I can get a better shot of things. There's another one that's a little bit spoilery. I'm gonna do this. Okay, that event is all good. Oh no, I still need to point the cameras. Okay, I have to hide screen now. For a minute while I do this. One thing I don't have built in yet is in the conversation, I'm gonna have to build a thing where so if there's multiple people talking and they're standing in one position, I'm gonna need them to like look towards you or look towards the other person or whatever. And that's, I already have the look at script built in, so I just need to, but I need to build in like a thing where it like sets a target for what they should be looking at, and that should be not too difficult to do, but I'll probably be doing that on stream the next couple weeks. Now I can just set the cameras, and then we'll be good to go. Okay. Are you running through a state machine, the characters? To some extent. Don't have people breaking their necks, stalking you, walking by, or talking to each other. They're currently doing that. They're actually doing that. It's hilarious because like a character walks, and then when she walks away, the head like rotates like that. It looks like she's like lifting her head like. It's very entertaining, but we're gonna have to fix that sometime soon. It was kind of a pain to try to fix earlier, and I was like, this is not the priority. I'm gonna have to come back to this. Especially when it's hilarious, you know? The hilarious bugs are the lower priority. At least we get entertainment out of them until they're fixed. Okay, so that part's in. Let me also write a quick. I'm just putting in some temp dialogue here. Part together. Okay, you know what? I'm going to write this out a little later, but I got the start of it in, and I got the right like cameras and everything, so we should be good to go now with that. So an Alexa on the floor, yes. She's working on it every day. Yes, I am. I once had an idea to make a game that had silly bugs on purpose, and there'd be a kind of fourth wall breaking story. That sounds fun. Eight ball, magic 8-ball. Yeah, what's going on, Taper? What's the sitch? You able to work? I don't know if you said already. If you did, I missed it. I apologize. But are you sitting on Lana's floor, magic 8-ball? Am I forced to say no? Yeah. How's the job? Are you still able to work on Ultramassive? How are things in general? Alright, so that's part started. That's good. That event, I can just write some dialogue for it. You can laugh now. What does that mean? I quit on day 2. No joke. No kappa. How come? Is it really not what you thought it was going to be? I'm laughing at myself because I'm sorry if I built it up so much. I kept asking, how's a new job? And you're like, it don't start till January. Don't start till mid-January. I'm like, how's a new job? Oh yeah, mid-January. I'm sorry. Kept asking. It's really annoying. It sucked. Oh, that's... Sorry to hear it sucked. Sucks that it sucked. So back to Ultramassive for now, or are you going to keep looking? Keep looking. Oh, okay. How much of your dev time would you say you spend using Blender? Blender? Like 2%? 5%? I do most of my 3D modeling and asset creation in Maya. I use Blender for mostly organic modeling, or I do sculpting. So I use it for faces, body, clothing, objects that are like more organic. Like I just showed yesterday, like a boxing glove I have, and that I did in Blender, and then I like retopoed it in Maya. Less than 2%, probably less than 2%. Oh, I do spend some time off stream sculpting, I gotta say. I just, I don't know. I get like into sculpting, so I like to do it off stream because I just get so in the zone. I don't really like read chat if I do it on stream. Very sculpt with a pen, yes. This was a very kind gift from our friend, Serrata Cyclist, Randy. Wacom 1. Highly recommend. It's been absolutely game-changing compared to other tablets with screens. This one, some of them are really expensive. This one does everything you need. It's still, it still costs a good chunk of money. But I'd recommend getting this if you want to get into sculpting. If you want to get into like doing detailed texturing, it's really nice. Or obviously illustration. It's been a game changer. And this pencil been really nice as well. It feels like you're just drawing. It feels so good. It looks and feels like a regular pencil. Isn't that crazy? It's a tablet pencil. Neat. Or you can use your iPad and connect it as extra screen. When I was doing user experience design, we did have like our team had a few Apple pencils and tablets that we could just borrow if nobody else was using them. And so I got the chance to play around with it a little bit. It was like for I used it for storyboarding and that kind of thing. Storyboarding like user experiences. And it was very nice. It was very nice. But if I don't know how, this was quite a while ago now, so I'm not sure how well it integrates with like other tools like Photoshop. I think now you probably can do everything. I like that this one can like mirror your screen, so you can just use it like a mouse though. That's really nice. You don't have to have like anything fancy set up. It's very straightforward. Maybe the Apple tablets are like that these days, but they are very good hardware. Just connecting things, that was the only drawback for me at the time. Does it taste like a regular pencil? No. Doesn't taste like wood, nature. That's the one downside. I do probably for the better. I do have a habit of like doing pencils. It's so gross. Once upon a time when I used a pencil. I haven't used a pencil in a long time. Does anyone else do that? Oh my god, I can't believe how you did that, now that I think about it. How did you get into 3D modeling and software game creation? I want to give a different answer than I gave the last few times that's been asked. How did I get into it? I was drawn to it because game development is like the ultimate form of creativity. It encapsulates almost, maybe not every, but many different forms of creativity. Storytelling, world building, visual art, audio design, music, you know, architecture, interior design, fashion, anatomy, landscaping, urban design. There's so many things. User experience design, user interface design, you know, even typology and like doing like the stuff with fonts and typography rather. So many different things go into games. It's almost the term game is what we use, but it's so much more than a game. Like we do basically like total 3D digital immersion, and we make games with that. But they don't have to be games. It is just like digital immersion almost, or like digital experience, virtual experience. I don't even know, there's not a real good term for it. But it's trivialized with the term game because it's like the ultimate form of creativity, honestly. It's so cool. I don't know how people don't want to do this. I don't know how people want to do anything else. Does that make sense? You have to be good at math for games for this. Depending what you're making, math can be a helpful asset, but it's not required for basic game development as long as you're using an engine. Why doesn't anyone want to make shit? Making stuff is awesome. Making stuff is awesome. It's so fun. What even makes sense? True. I started burning through my savings, so I had to look for a regular job. That makes sense. It can be the finding a way to finance game development is the hardest part of game development. Because making a game takes a long time and it's hard to get funding for them. Doing it as a hobby is actually maybe the most enjoyable way to do it, because then you don't have to have the stress of the business side or any of that. Game deving allows us to be gods. Exactly. Can we see gameplay? Sure, you're gonna see some weird gameplay because it's set up right now for, like, I have the walking speed is super fast, so I can just go from place to place to test the story side. It's also not optimized, so it's a little laggy. because I just added a bunch of assets in again for the story. There's like full interiors with many game objects, not optimized, all being rendered at the same time right now. So it's kind of choppy, and also like you're running around and there's a lot of random stuff happening, but we can walk around and walk a bit. I'll show you the combat. That's, I think, one of the few things that is... I can show you the combat and maybe some placement of items and stuff. A couple other things that are... So like, you break down items. Even this character needs work. Even the fists are not weight painted. So like, every little element is kind of halfway there right now, which is difficult to show it, but even that's not supposed to be showing like that. I have the scrap metals acting as a weapon, which I shouldn't. So you find things like jam, you punch garbage as you do in regular life. It'll probably make more sense when I add kicking in. There's dumpsters. We got some planks of wood, scrap metal, jam, oil, water bottle, which we can drink. Our stats are pretty high still, but we can drink the water. Search the car. And then an alternator. More planks of wood used for building, crafting. My neighbors look at me funny when I go around punching trash. Don't let your neighbors dictate whether or not you punch trash, okay? That's not fair.
You punch like a little bit.
Come here. Is that all you got?
You're gonna have to do better than that.
Knock him out!
Come on.
This is my territory.
I got two of them.
Yeah, kick his ass!
Nice try.
You, come here.
Yeah, get him!
They're gonna kill me, I think. Ah, there's more!
It's better than that.
Quick, take his shoes!
Too many. Quick, take his shoes! Let's do a little bit more on the house that we were working on yesterday. More of these details. There's a few elements I need to address in the storyline that I want to make clear in this scene. So we're going to look at those together and think of ways to explain stuff through environmental storytelling. It's an iPhone. Leave it with the corpse. Looks like you were holding a coffee while you were fighting. Oh, was I doing this? The coffee's empty. So sad. Hey, here, how's it going? I think the death screen should show how many hours, minutes, seconds you survive just to rub in the player's face. Funny idea. Bad Timber! Hira, thanks for gifting the sub to Bad Timber. Appreciate it, Hira. Welcome in, Bad Timber. Okay, I'm gonna be right back, and then we're gonna address some of those elements I mentioned. Love your mug, thank you. Okay. So, let's take a look. I'm gonna make a little document for this. Whew. Come closer here. Now, okay. Some questions that we need to answer. Let's write these down. Oh, I also want to write a script for the live secure commercial. So, I don't need meeting notes or any of that, thanks anyways, Google Docs. What we do need so there's gonna be something called live secure. I want the little TM symbol. I want to do like a 10-second commercial on live secure that people get the idea of exactly how this works so that the concept of the storyline is all set up. What was that? ASM gifted a sub to Surge. Thank you so much, ASM. Oh, hey, Victor. How are you? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope you're doing good. You can copy Atlanta? Copy what? Bear midriff? Yeah. So what? I saw somebody say I got one too, Projectoroid, and I want to know what you guys got. I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. Am I an Apple or Android user? I have an iPhone. Oh my gosh, Em's already wrote. Okay, let's read this. You are a legend. Let's see. Are you ready for a new level of security? Look no further than Live Secure, your trusted partner in protection. Unpickable, unbeatable. Live Secure's advanced technology ensures your doors are impenetrable, providing you with peace of mind like never before. Live secure with live secure with confidence, knowing that your safety is our top priority. I want to say at the end, live secure with Live Secure. Oh my god, even wrote a disclaimer! You're the best. Okay, so I talked about this yesterday. Obviously, Em was paying attention. I want the commercial to explain how this piece of security... I'm going to put a couple of things in to explain a little bit more details. And then have that, like, medical footnotes that you guys have in the US. They're always so weird to me. How do they start those disclaimers on I need to watch some medical commercials. I think, like, if you live in the US, you're used to them, but it's one of those, because, like, Canada and the US are very similar in a lot of ways, but that's one thing we don't have is ads for anything medical, I don't think. I think we don't have any medical ads. And, like, the disclaimer at the end of the commercial is always so weird to me. Let's see if we can find an example, just so I can use it as a reference. And I want to put those at, like, disclaimer for this Live Secure thing. Specifically, I want it for, like, commercial.
Quit smoking with Chantix and support. Talk to your doctor about Chantix and a support plan that's
What's
right
Chantix?
for you. Some people have had changes in behavior, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. If you notice agitation, hostility, depression, or changes in behavior, thinking, or mood that are not typical for you, or if you develop suicidal thoughts or actions. Stop taking Chantix and call your doctor.
I don't want Chantix, I've decided.
Talk to your doctor about any history of depression or other mental health problems, which can get worse while taking Chantix. Some people can have allergic or serious skin reactions to Chantix, some of which can be life-threatening. If you notice swelling of face, mouth, throat, or a rash, stop taking Chantix and see your doctor right away.
I don't want
Tell
Chantix.
your doctor which medicines you're taking, as they may work differently when you quit smoking. Chantix dosing may be different if you have kidney problems. The most common side effect is nausea.
Kara, thank you for the bits. What does this say? Gosh, it's hard to read. What is the enemy of liberty? Security is the enemy of liberty. That's a discussion. But these disclaimers are always like, is this a commercial? Like, are you promoting this product, or are you? Is it an anti-commercial? Because it's definitely steering me away from it.
Patients also reported trouble sleeping and vivid, unusual, or strange dreams. Until you know how
The reason I can't read it is because my screen, like what I see of the stream, is small. It used to appear in chat, but since I'm using I'm streaming on YouTube as well, it doesn't appear in chat anymore, so I have to try to read on the screen.
Chantix may affect you. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. Chantix should not be taken with other quit smoking products.
The urges weren't like they used to be, and that helped me quit.
Talk to your doctor to find out if prescription Chantix is right for you.
They have to have those disclaimers because lawyers.
Oh, I know. But it's still weird to me. Doesn't make it any less weird. So we're gonna do something like that, except the disclaimer's basically like, use this as a security system. Also, lots of problems with it. Lots of potential problems. Use at your own risk. Disclaimer. So we're gonna say, Life security is designed to enhance the security of your premises, but no system is foolproof. Life secure may not prevent all unauthorized access and is not a substitute for all security measures. Power outages or malfunctions may temporarily impact the system's functionality. LifeSecure is not responsible for any unforeseen circumstances or events beyond its control. Please consult our user manual for proper installation and usage guideline. LifeSecure. Okay, there's a couple of things I need to make clear in these. Number one, Windows.
In September 2021, Pfizer announced a recall of all lots of its anti-smoking treatment, Chantix, varenicline, due to high levels of cancer-causing agents called nitrosamines in the pills.
Thanks for the bits, Slater. And yeah, I think that's why, like, they have to have those disclaimers. I think that's also why, like, we don't have, it's not allowed to advertise it. I don't know exactly how the legal stuff around these things work, but yeah, there's some concerns there for sure. Okay, so a couple things we need to say to the player. I want to say that your windows will be protected, will be blocked. Windows blocked. Windows get blocked to prevent break-ins through windows. Door locks become unpickable. Your home is essentially impenetrable. And that is part of the storyline. So you cannot break into buildings when they have LifeSecure, which is most people will have it. And then the other part of that is when the power goes down. So this is going to be the disclaimer. So I gotta make sure that this part's added to this, and then I gotta make sure we say here something like on power outage. I'm kind of debating on this, to be honest. I'm gonna explain to you. We either have it so that
improper use of LifeSecure can lead to insecurity and anxiety.
Thank you, Hira. Maybe it can include some sort of places and protects in some ways. Oh, true. I should also say this is for homes, businesses, etc. So everything in the city is basically going to be using Live Secure. And they're going to put ads for it everywhere. Okay. So once power goes out, there is a battery backup. However, if there's no power, the system locks down completely. It's kind of complicated, but that's part of why we're going to do it through this disclaimer. If you listen, you'll understand it, and it will kind of be brought up as well in other places. So after the battery is drained, the system locks down completely to prevent break-ins when you're away from home. If you're in your home during a complete lockdown, you can manually override it and leave. However, it will not be locked. It will not be possible to lock it again when you go back in.
Fourth month. How are you, Lana? Smile.
Hey, Lord Kenny. Thank you so much. 4 months. I'm doing good. How are you? We're coming up with a commercial for the game that's going to explain this security system, and I wanted to be like, I was just playing one of the ads that the US has, like the medical ads, where they have these long disclaimers. So basically we're gonna have like a long legal disclaimer explaining how the security system works so that people playing the game understand, because it's part of how you break into these buildings in the game. Basically you need to have power to break into them, is the idea. And without saying too much, some people may still be in their home while there's no power, and you cannot get in, but they cannot leave also. So when the power gets returned and you go into them now, there may be other people who have been hiding out in their homes just like you are at the beginning of the game. So that needs to be relatively understandable if you're paying attention. I'm going to try to explain it throughout the game, but this will kind of needs to cover it. Speaking of ads, if there's an ad going around that has Jennifer Coolidge in it, and I've heard so many impressions of her that I forgot what she really sounds like. I thought it was an impersonator. That's so funny. She's got such a distinguished voice. So it's really funny. The Purge? How does the Purge announcement sound? Are you talking about like emergency systems? I want this to sound more like infomercially. So I wanted to be like, are you ready for a new level of security? Look no further than Live Secure, your trusted partner in protection. Unpickable. I want to say like, this part should come in here. Unpickable, unbreakable, unbeatable. Live Secure's advanced technology ensures your doors and windows remain impenetrable. Why can I not say this word? Impenetrable. Providing you with peace of mind like never before. Your safety is our top priority. Live secure with Live Secure. Oh, I also want to include this part. This will be a TV ad and a radio ad, possibly. Need to add in, oh, here, I'll put it here. Whether it's your home, business, or how do I say, like, a library or like government building, like every or anything else. Whether it's your home, business, or what would be like a, what would be outside of that? Home, business. I could just keep those two, whether it's your home or your business. Public facility. I'll stick to the two, should be good. Rental, city. What about disgruntled customers? Whether it's your home or business, your safety is our top priority. Live secure with Live Secure. And then we gotta say something like, Live Secure is designed to enhance the security of your premises. I'm gonna just skip straight to the legal. I'm gonna skip this, that is foolproof. Try to probably just keep it super to the point of the things we need to say here. And I do want it to actually, I don't want it to say it's not gonna work, because in this world that we're creating, the lore, the rules you need to know in this world is you cannot get in. If they use Live Secure and there's no power, you cannot get in. So we're not gonna even question that in the disclaimer, but we are going to make sure we include that. So let's take out this part. Live Secure may not prevent all unauthorized substitutes. So we're not going to say that either. It does need to have like some kind of like legal thing. Live. I do like how this was written. It does sound like overall we're not responsible for you. Also, here's some caveats to the system. Live Secure operates on your electrical power supply. Temporary outages are backed up with a Live Secure battery. Temporary outages are backed up? I don't know how to... you're good at writing. I feel like this might be a good starting point. Live Secure is not responsible for any unforeseen circumstances or events beyond its control. That might be, or the last one. I like this better. How do I include the battery into this statement? Power outages or malfunctions, like temporarily, how do I say, like, resort to Live Secure battery backup system? I don't want to say the exact time. Oh, that's actually a good point though. Operational battery time varies between systems. and is automatically recharged when power is returned. Battery power reserve. Thank you. That's a good term. Reserve. Power or malfunctions can temporarily affect the functionality of the system. LifeSecure is not liable for any damages or losses caused by third-party interference, natural disasters, or force... How do I say this word? I always read it and I'm like, wait a minute, is it force? Let me look it up. Good legal term.
Force majeure.
Force majeure. Okay. 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 Battery's not included. Third-party interference, natural disasters, or force majeure events that may affect the functionality or availability of security systems. I do want that, but I also want to say, like, it's gonna be locked down. It's more of a case of when the batteries, this is the biggest thing, when the battery runs out and there's no power, your system locks down. You cannot get back in until there's power. And if you are inside, you can leave, but it will not lock again. It will be an open door. Got a lot here we can go through. Like hospitals and fire stations have a larger battery than your typical home. Or maybe less because they use more power to keep it running. We don't know. So it's going to be varied. It's not going to be clear how it's affected because some buildings will be on and off and it's going to be unclear to the player what's affecting it. And yeah. I'm sold. Where do I order one for my home? Hang on a sec here. Your doors are completely powered by tacos. Tacos are not guaranteed. Okay, operational. I definitely want this. And this. I don't really need to say that's repowered because that might be confusing. Because if you lose power again in the game, the building's locked down again. So better not say that. Operational battery time varies between systems. Something like this, I think, should cover it. We do want it to be as minimal as possible, even though it is long. I want to make sure it covers everything and then sounds like a real ad, and then we're done. Power outage, battery backup, power drain, the system locks down completely, right? So, so during full power down, on battery depletion, LifeSecure systems lock down entirely to prevent away from home concerns. I don't know how to word that better. This can be manually overridden Overridden, overrided. This can be overrided manually. Overwritten? Overrided. I'm thinking overwrite and override. Overrid. Help me out, chat. What is the word I'm looking for? Overrode? No, I don't think past tense of override. It is overrode. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. This can be manually overrode. Okay, I need a better word. That just sounds weird. This can be something manually. However, the system will no longer be operational if this is done. Or like, basically I want to say like, you can go in and like unlock it from inside. But once you do that, because the power's off, you can't lock it from the outside anymore. Or you can't unlock it at all, maybe. Bypass is a good word, yeah. It's gonna be bypassed manually. Okay, this is the information we need. It could maybe be improved a bit. Are you going too hardcore all this logic? No, it's important because I need to make sure I cover any plot holes. In fact, I kind of want to share the story with you guys just so that I can get your feedback on this one element that I think is not that big of a deal. It might be a spoiler. I'm debating. Because it's tricky and I want to make sure that I don't screw it up. And I feel like a number of different people's eyeballs on it will help. And I can make these rules solidified, make sure there's no plot holes. I just need to make sure I catch them. What do you guys think? Avoid your warranty manual, but yeah, we got some good stuff here. Okay, I'm just gonna say it because it's not that big of a deal, and I think it's more important to make sure that the story makes sense here than worrying about like you guys being surprised this very small situation at the beginning of the game. So you're in this house at the beginning of the game for about a year, okay? And that's how the game, there's a little bit more before, but this is kind of how you start the gameplay. You learn the ropes of how to pick up items, how to break down items. And eventually, it's going to be up to the player if and when you choose to walk out this door. You could survive in this house for there's going to be enough elements in this house to survive for a little while. But eventually, you have to make that decision on when you leave. Once you leave, you get locked out. And you can't go back in. And that's when the game begins. That's when you're out in the world and you want to restore power to get back in. You don't have to be in this chaos anymore. So I want to make sure that all checks out in our little explanation here. So that it's not like, wait a minute, you could just do this and this. So you are on battery supply at the beginning of the game. Power might have gone out in March. Who knows? Maybe even April. And you've been on battery power with your live secure system for a while. You're totally safe, but you're on borrowed time because as soon as that battery's out, you are either locked down. This is where I've been like trying to work out the details of this. So your battery, so you leave the place and the battery basically runs out then. By opening and unlocking it was like the last bit of power. So this whole game is a crummy commercial. Well, it's kind of like, yeah, the whole game's a commercial for Life Secure, the business I'm starting. This isn't the whole, no, I'm just kidding. You don't even need to explain. So I need to make sure that this is all clear to the user and they understand why they're locked out and that they need power to get back in. Are you asking if that's a strong enough inciting incident? I think it's a strong enough inciting incident. I just want to make sure that this covers the logic all checks out here. Does that make sense? So like, I guess the last piece is on battery depletion. Live system locks down entirely to prevent away from home concerns. So like if you've left your home unattended and and there's no power, the security system defaults to being locked because that's their way of like keeping it secure. And then if you're inside, yeah, I guess basically the thing is like once the power goes out, this needs to be like your door is locked down. As long as that's clear, I think then we're good. The battery could explode after you leave. The battery, I think I'm just gonna have a voice be like, as you're walking in the halls, it's gonna say things like, warning, live secure system, low battery. Please connect to power. And it's gonna do that sort of thing. And then once you leave, it's gonna be like, shutting down system. Powered reserve battery has been completely depleted. Locking down system. And then your character's like, oh shit. Are you alone for this project? For the most part, yeah. And now I got you guys. Oh, Vinny Matt, thank you for 19 months. Appreciate it. How are you doing today? Because the power goes out. Well, because so like, even if you are aware of how the system works, you have your supplies and stuff. Eventually, you know your battery's gonna run out. You don't have a way to recharge it. You know, you're kind of in this situation where once you run out of your supplies, you will need to leave, and your battery will eventually run out. So you're not gonna be able to get back in when that happens. So when you leave, you're like, damn it, now I'm outside. I'm stuck outside. I need to figure out what to do. I need to get power back to my place so I can have a safe place to go back into. Why isn't the battery already dead and the character leaves? So that's something I considered that. A good question. That's a very good question. That's why I like bringing this stuff up with you guys so you can poke holes in it. I want that. So now's a good time for that. So the reason I wanted to deplete when you leave is because, to be honest, it's easier to tell in storytelling if the security system's like, the power's now gone and now you're locked out. And the last bit of power is used to like bolt the door closed. If the power's already down, the idea is once you unlock it, the building's now open and you can come and go, but then so can other people. Which would actually be less of a problem. You could just bar the door or something like that. Okay, the other thing I've been toying with is it locks down regardless if you're inside or not, and people get stuck inside. I think that might be, I don't know if that's too dark. People are stuck inside. They have no way of getting out. That could make for more interesting stories when we find other people. But it also seems a little bit more like unlikely for a system to have something like that. You guys like it? So I have a few, like, right now in the game, when you go into a building, there's nobody in them unless the only possible outcome is you find other scavengers. But I have what I want to do is use the event system I built and have you come across people who have also been hiding out in their home. So the difference between what happens with the live secure system dictates what happens to those events. So if you walk in and there's been people living there for a while, it's one of two things. One, they were stuck in there because of their live secure system, or they didn't want to leave because they knew that once they did, their place would be vulnerable. So the second one is a little bit more... a bit less intense. It's more like it was a decision for them to stay inside out of safety. But them getting stuck might make for more interesting stories. That's the part I'm torn on. I suppose we don't have to say in exactly what happens in the commercial, but I think if we do, it helps give the player a little bit more of an understanding of the world and what they're going to find when they open it. More like dead secure, am I right, gang? Yeah. So that would make it a really nefarious system, which would kind of be an interesting plot point, but maybe too, like, unbelievable, because it would be such a bad situation that you get locked in your home if the power goes out for long enough. What is your thoughts, chat? What do you think is more interesting in a story? A system where power goes out, the other people in the world are locked in their homes, or once the power goes out, they're locked in their homes, but they can leave, but then their place becomes unlocked if they do. It's kind of complicated to try to summarize it, but hopefully you guys are following. I'm really torn on which direction to go with it, to be honest. You think it makes more... you like the latter? So let me see if I can summarize this with a poll on Twitch. When power goes out, security locks you in. You can leave, but no more. You can leave, no more locks. I don't know if this makes sense. I can only put so many characters in this, but I'm curious what you guys think. Polls in Twitch right now. So either you get locked in, or you can leave, but then your place is now unlocked. You can leave, place becomes unlocked. It's like a seal on a can of food. Once it's been opened, you can't reseal it. Exactly. So that would be one option. Or they get locked in, which is kind of like a messed up world, which kind of also suits this. It's a little bit more like fantastical. I don't think it makes a ton of sense that a company would do that, but who knows? Maybe like this world is meant to be like, some people just, you know, including companies in this world, they just they don't have a accountability in this world. It's kind of a dark city. Ooh, kind of torn. Please vote. It's even if you're even if you're not that invested, I appreciate which one you think would make for a more interesting story. It helps me consider which direction to go with it. So they can leave and place becomes vulnerable. Yeah, so either they can't leave, which is kind of an interesting premise, or they can leave but their place is vulnerable. Oh, good question. In the case of a fire. Good question. I'm gonna make that a note here. But I put it into the disclaimer too. I think it'd be interesting to break into apartments that had locked down and the occupant had died and you could read the insanity on the walls. That could be interesting, definitely. Or you meet them. That's the thing. You're gonna meet a bunch of people who've been like locked up for a while. So that's, I think it's gonna be fun to write these like wild encounters and fun to explore the city in this way. Okay, so a little bit more leaning towards people getting locked in. It does make for an interesting story. Well, automatic locks that you can't control could give some fun ways of guiding the player around. They didn't pay for their Prime subscription, so they get locked out and have to find a bypass. I could do it like you can pay for different battery amount. So like, it's your problem if you didn't get the good battery. Hey Jofu, how's your weekend going? Have the ability to unlock in case of fire or high temperatures. Just add a string to my wish list. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. A system like this must have a fallback method like a physical key unlock. So this is a fantasy world, okay? Keep that in mind. And I want it to be no key unlock backup. That's one of the points in this. No key backup equals more secure. Because all will, I know this is not the case, but like all key locks are pickable. That's going to be like their marketing campaign or whatever, right? They're going to be like, your door is vulnerable because it has a keyhole. I feel like the system locking you in should be a malfunction of the system and part of what makes it funny. It taunts itself as the best system, but it really sucks. Yes. Yes, that is kind of the idea. It's meant to be this amazing thing, and like in this, and then everyone feels the consequences of it. It's like, well, great, we all got this system and now we're all screwed from it. It could be a malfunction. That's not a bad idea. So this is also a gameplay thing that we could do. Maybe it's a mixture of the two, depending on the situation. Your keyhole is vulnerable. All locks are just suggestions. That's funny. Built-in fire suppression and ends up suffocating people. Actually, I do want to have a lot of buildings that have burnt down, so we could maybe have something to do with that. Fire claws. Maybe maybe they can be like, your home is completely fireproof with our system. And then I'll be like, on battery depletion, our system is no longer operational. And like once the power's out long enough, everybody relied on this system. Houses burned down, people got stuck inside. All these things happened because just out of a power outage. Now I really want a moment at the end of the game where you get blocked by a secure lock and other character with just remarks, oh, one of those things, slaps a magnet on and the door swings open. Magnetism, that could be an interesting premise, a component of it. Fireproof and exit-proof. Now it really reminds me of Portal. Is that part of... I haven't played all of Portal, I've just seen a little bit of it. I like that some people could get locked in when power reserve goes out. The player will always get out, but once the player gives power to your building, you can unlock the room that were locked. You see dead or starving NPC. I think I'm not gonna say what happens. Or it should say that there's a manual override, but there's a malfunction where at least some, if not all, people get locked in. And that's why, yeah. And then we can have some more interesting scenarios that we come across in the game. Hey Santosh, how's it going? System could fail. Brazil was trippy. I don't remember it. I remember it being like really weird and cool visually though. Hey Tough Cookie. If you can think of it like the film Brazil by Terry Gilliam, where the arrival of Stan Technico is a bureaucratic hell with the destruction of the apartment and filling it with shit. I'm gonna rewatch that. It's been so long I don't remember it. Type the key card to unlock from outside, but because there's no power, you can't get into the door again, so you have to restore power in order to come back home. And for other people, those that live alone, you can do that. You can do that, and the other family can go out because nobody has all supplies home. That's just my 2 cents. That's an interesting one. Like you can only lock it from the inside. So if there's more than one person, you're still safe. Interesting. That could come up. That could make for some interesting storylines too. Actually, like somebody left, and now the person remaining can't go and look for them because their door will be open, or whatever. And just constantly people trying to get in. Okay. So I should write some more stuff on the walls. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Finished at gym, heading home. All right, hope you had a good gym time. Enjoy your evening. It is warm and cozy now. The heater's great. Okay. Give Jim my regards. Okay, what else do we want to have written on the walls? We had some good suggestions yesterday. Did I write some of these down? I think I did. Oh, I had some notes here. Questions from the writers that we need to make clear at the beginning. Okay, who runs the city? And how does live secure fit in? I think the commercial will help explain that a little bit. I need to make sure that, okay, there's like a lot of things we need to say here. No emergency services. No communications, phone or internet. Electricity. So this is, maybe this is the timeline I need to put in. Timeline. So the timeline is right after the gates close. There's no emergency services, no communications. Heating stays on. Water is okay, but becomes undrinkable. I think it's gonna be funny to have like a TV with only, everything's gonna be static, blue screen, nothing, and then like you get to one channel on the TV and it'll just be ads. And then like people will like be like, are you able to get any stations on your television with information? Like, no, I'm just getting ads. I don't know why that's like, I feel like it's It almost feels like it could happen. 2024 average TV broadcast, exactly. Oh my gosh, spicy bleach ad, yes, with Scrubette. Scrubette, spicy bleach. What's the extra? 20% extra spicy, 30% more spicy. It's modern dystopia, yeah. It's like a Demolition Man where classical music is just old jingles. That's really funny. Yeah, weirdly, like how ads are usually cached more locally. Maybe that will be part of it. Can we see the live secure ad again? Yes. I think the only part I need to put in, you know, even if I leave this, we can, if I decide to have people get locked in, whether it's some or all, it can be a malfunction. And you can discover that when you start meeting people. That doesn't necessarily, that's not too, I don't think it's too crucial. Alternatively, we don't say. What happens? We just say it's locked down entirely until power is restored. So this line is maybe. What's the color? Sounds like from the outside of the building, fill in things like no emergency services, no power, rioting. Oh yeah, riots. People on megaphone and people shouting, etc. Also paints the picture that the player is safer inside at the start of the game. I'm debating doing like a little montage of like time passing, but I think if you just wake up and read the writing on the walls, it can tell you everything you need to know. And there's going to be a brief conversation once you leave that fills in any absolutely necessary elements. Like he's going to reiterate, oh, you know, I guess I can't go back in now. I need to turn on the power. Got to head out for a bit. If I miss the rest of the stream, have a good day. All right, Project Raj, you have a good one. Take care. Totally get it on Sundog. Calling a security malfunction could be enough too. Yeah. Security malfunction. This might actually be too much to digest too. I actually was thinking we take this out. All you know is that this power is locked down completely. We know the lore behind it if people have questions, and that will be explained through details of the game, but this is all that's really kind of necessary. It's interesting you use that term. That's used later in the game, striving. I don't want to say too much though. This world, does lockout blackouts happen often? Good question. Never to the extent that's happened in this game, so you know, if it goes out for a day or two, the battery's fine. But we've had power outage in this game for months. Maybe I need to... Oh my gosh. Who was that? I totally zoned out on that. The real deal. Thanks for gifting the sub to Sundog. Appreciate that. True, don't have to explain everything at the start. Player can learn what happens later, yeah. I've already said it several times, but that service description is way too honest and the product is way too solid. So many people ordered it and really delivers what it promises. It's totally a fantastical world. That's funny. Thanks, Real Deal. Cool. So I think that kind of explains that part. What else do we need to explain in the room? Besides, so these are some of the things I'll need to put in here. Like, I'm gonna put some of the stuff on these notes. Power outage. Somewhere there. Where are we? And the other things we need to include. Let me see. There's questions of why the gate is closed. That should also be a question to the players. We know it has to do with what does the player know at the beginning? The player knows the gate is closed due to fear of the number of infected people within the gate. Kick 'em all gnomes. Oh, TPS currency. Now this is an interesting one because if we haven't been out into the world yet, this should be news to us. So I need to put something in here like learn on leaving home. Let's say TPS currency. Will the player meet an employee of Live Secure? I will not discuss that at this time. TP has no value until we find out that it ran out from what I remember. Right. Little creature. You guys really want the gnomes. Honestly, that does sound like a fun... I'm gonna try to squeeze in a gnome quest because we already have the... I put in a quest system where you have to interact with a certain number of items, and I have like I can vary what the item is, where the item is, what the animation is that plays, etc. So I can put that quest in relatively simply. Maybe there's just somebody in the game who hates the gnomes and they want them all smashed. Gnome quest. You have to put in the sound. What's the sound? Make them cute as Koroks. I don't know what Koroks are. Sounds like something Charlotte would request. Maybe we'll make it a Charlotte request. The gnome sound. Hey, Hunter! Thank you very much for 4 months. You are funny. Getting Fallout New Vegas vibes maybe? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's also a fun apocalyptic world, so definitely kind of on the same but different. Because it's got that retro feel to it. This has a more neon feel. There's also no guns, so it's a little bit less I don't know. People have a little bit, how do I put this? Every person has some power to some extent. I feel like when there's guns, if one person has a gun, one doesn't. Like the person with the gun overpowers the person without it. So no one has guns, so there's like a... I don't know. The power structure is a little bit different. Fun apocalyptic world. Are there any other kind? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have you played the Frostpunk? That's a depressing game. Damn. I had I had 3 most oddest bathroom experience last night. We don't want to know. I think. I don't think we want to know about the odd bathroom experiences. That one, keep that one in the private journal. It's a private journal talk. Maybe private message Arga, apparently. Oh no, Steve, no, I don't want to know. Oh. Okay, next topic. Yes, I can decide on behalf of all of us. Yes, I am a dictator. Okay. Where were we? What else do we need to know? We got, I don't want to read too much out loud in case it's something spoilery. Okay. Has there been any commentary from... I guess we can have... Before the gates close... Basically, like, what is the government doing at this point? I think the answer is we don't hear from them. We don't know. We're stuck inside. We don't have information. All we know is what we hear inside the gates. Oh, I don't know how to say that in the world. Maybe it's a question, the player questions it. Does the player know how to get the power back on? Your first task is to reroute power supply to try to see if that will get power to your home. And I think the player will have some knowledge on how to do that, because I don't know how, yeah, I think the player's just going to know how to do that part at least. So that's another thing, actually, that I want to say about the player. Okay, so when you go outside, you should also find out no one else knows why this is happening. Gates closed. They all have their own theories as to why they closed the gates. I should probably put that into some dialogue, actually. Right, no access to news other than word of mouth, exactly. The walls a player could ask in governments and do nothing. Conspiracy theorists, NPCs, definitely. Okay, what else is missing info? When we go out, we need to learn that there's gangs have formed. sec. Would it be scary or informative if they heard activity around them? That's... I'm leaving that open right now. If we hear and see things outside the city gates, city walls. Gangs only formed after the lockdown, no presence in the city. Oh, good question, actually. There have been some gang activity before, actually. In the demo is a prequel that takes place just before the gates are locked, and you start to see the formation of these groups, and they're not quite factions yet. They're just kind of people who are unhappy and they don't want to leave the city. The gates are there, and there's people monitoring the flow of people coming and going, and a lot of people don't like that, so they're leaving. They're moving away, or they're staying outside the city. But the people who want to stay or have no option are very upset about it, a lot of them. So well, at least the factions. So they are forming these groups, and they're kind of like anti-establishment. Royal Flush, our chaos leader, is at the beginning. The demo, he's present, and you can tell he's kind of that's sort of starting up. In cult form, yeah, the Chosen will be a bit more culty, but we're only going to see little bits of that for the most part. Okay, what else do we need to share? Make clear. This thing is not related to the beginning, it's a little bit later. Hang on, I got another one to look at. So it needs to be clear the names of the gangs. Your character should also already know that things are dangerous. So maybe the player does go out once or twice and learns a little bit about what's going on. So we're gonna make a note here. I'll be right back, hang on. Yes, toilet paper is the currency in this world. All right, my friends. I mentioned today would be a short stream, and it is that time of day. But it also means it's show and tell time. right, where did we leave off? With show and tell. Strawn, I don't think we saw the pool yet, did we? I saw this in the evening last night. Not Sean, sorry. Strawn. So Strawn removed this rusty diving board. Nice work, looks much cleaner. I'm thinking of putting in a slide. Slide could be nice. I feel like a slide should come from... Oh, this is probably shallow end though. Maybe a slide here would be cool. Slides are dangerous though, be careful with those. It can be very dangerous. Yeah, pool party at Strawn's house. Let's go. Looks really nice. What's this from Strawn? They know the dryer. Have you ever taken apart one of these and seen this? I don't know if I have actually, now that you say it. Maybe I need to. It's much cleaner now. Here's one from Peyton. Ooh, nice plane. Ooh. Really nice work on that. Looks like Sons of the Forest. No, sorry, the forest. In the forest, you're in a plane. Sons of the Forest, you're in a helicopter. Even nice emergency exit. Huh. Cool. Nice. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm on a plane. You nailed the bathroom controls. And the bathroom in general looks perfect. God, this must take forever to build this. How long have you been working on this for? Good work. Wow, impressive stuff. From Geo! Over a couple of weeks of major cleaning up and reorganizing, I found this collecting dust and looking a little different than what I remember. Oh my goodness. What on earth? It has an airbag in it? Oh damn, is that the battery just like expanded? Yikes. New battery and probably fine. Maybe. Maybe. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Crashing plane is train. Could be interesting. Lettuce sees a plane and starts muttering about forest. It's from the game The Forest, the beginning of it. It starts on a plane, okay? God. Alright guys, that's it for show and tell for now. Thank you so much for joining today, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll be back. I should be back on tomorrow. If there's any changes, if I do decide to spend some more time with the storyline stuff or spoiler stuff, I will let you know in Discord. And otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow, this week. Let's go Bills. Yeah, big Bills game today. Enjoy. You guys have a wonderful day, rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Was geht, Leute?
Let's see it, Stub.
Okay. This song is for Lana Lux. I just saw you on Twitch and from that moment I knew I want to be a famous game dev. But there's one problem. Yeah, you want to be famous. You want to be the greatest. You want a lot of paychecks. So don't be a game dev. No, you want to be famous. You want to be the greatest. You want a lot of paychecks, so don't be a game dev. No, you just need to focus and get it done. But be aware it's not always
very fun.
You need to learn and not copy, cause that's a cheat. And take time for your game, otherwise it looks
fast and cheap.
take a look at Lana Lux. She's so freaking hot.
I think that's a compliment.
Yes, it is, Lena. Be my girl, but don't break my heart. Yeah, yeah, you wanna be famous.
Can we please get some cat jams in chat?
You wanna be the greatest. You want a lot of paychecks. So don't be a game dev. No. You wanna be famous.
Holy shit.
You wanna